Welcome back to more of the Fire Emblem Three Houses blind run. Last time we invaded basically the grid from Tron, and also Rhea sacrificed herself to stop some missiles, and we don't really know if she's dead or not, so that kind of throws out some of my final boss predictions. Right now, I have no idea what this chapter is going to be, so this will be interesting. But I just realized, though, we have not actually had... Oh, sorry.
Part 2. Silver Snow. Verdant Rain Moon. Following a Dream. The ambitions of those who slither in the dark are forever shattered with Shambhala's destruction. But in the process, Rhea is grievously injured. What fate awaits her, and who will bear the weight of Fodlan on their shoulders?
So it does feel more like this is kind of like an epilogue chapter, or like a tying up loose ends kind of thing. It's more like a the villains are defeated, but what comes next? The thing is, though, I know the final map of this route has its own unique theme. Well, I mean, I guess Shambhala had its own unique theme, but yeah, so obviously there has to be one more battle, and that's where this becomes really... I don't know, I'm really not sure what's coming. What I was going to say, though, is we have not had the S support choice yet. And last time we got that before we headed out to the final battle, so... yeah. Huh, there's exclamation marks, so we still have a playable month.
Hang in there, Lady Rhea.
Oh, wow, even Cyril's here. I'm glad that he's getting a little bit more plot relevance on this route.
She needs help. Hurry!
That's a serious injury. It's a miracle that she's even alive right now. I'll do what I can, but...
"5 years ago, when this place fell, an enormous white creature appeared on the battlefield. It was the Immaculate One, Rhea.
Okay, so Byleth, like, she transformed right in front of Byleth, so Byleth clearly knows that she was the dragon, but this is the first time we're actually getting, like, the first confirmation that the Immaculate One is Rhea.
What? You already knew her true identity?
Yeah, she transformed right in front of him.
I see. In the past, the children of the goddess were all able to change their appearance, just like the Immaculate One.
Oh, but I'm guessing that means you can't anymore?
I lost that power long ago, but it seems Rhea has not.
Oh, yeah, right. Exactly what I said. No, I would never have guessed! It wasn't brought up in, like, Edelgard's boss dialogue with you and Tales's boss dialogue with you.
Is it not obvious? Flayn and I both are.
And of course, you know, if you fight Saint Indek in the paralogue as well with Seteth, that's also pretty much spelled out.
We have protected Garreg Mach and all of Fodlan for a very long time. But now, the light of Rhea's life is on the verge of disappearing from this world. It is flickering. I do not know if she can be saved. Even if she is, I wonder if she will remain unchanged.
Yeah, there was that weird green stuff around her when she took the hit from the missile, although that could have just been her, like, you know, dragon blood is green in this universe.
Professor, are you able to carry on Rhea's work? As the protector of Fodlan, and as leader of the people who live here, you must defend the people, guide them and teach them, join their hearts and spread peace across the whole of the land.
It is not as though you must become the Archbishop.
Even though that's literally what happens on the Blue Lions route.
But Fodlan needs leadership. It is up to you to govern this war-torn land. You need not reply right this moment. We will strive to heal Rhea as best we can.
Perhaps it would help to seek counsel from our friends at the monastery about this matter.
I agree. When your mind is made up, please speak with me. I would ask that you give me your decision in the presence of Rhea herself.
Okay, but we can still do fights and supports and things like that this chapter. And we actually do have some new oh, these are all old supports, I'm pretty sure. Yep, these are the exact same supports we had access to before. And still, the only support that's locked off to us now is that one. Okay, now, the question remains, are there any supports that I want to do that I have not done yet? Like, Ignatz and Flane A was one that I kind of maybe wanted to try and see. Seth currently, well, I mean, he has an A support with Byleth, but, yeah, that's not really going to happen because Byleth is, like, I have an idea for Byleth's S support at this point, but I'm not really sure what I'll end up going with. Leonie currently doesn't have any A's either, and there's really no one I could really see her ending up with except maybe Raphael, but I don't know. Those are really the only ones right now, because, I mean, I did promise that I'd do Catherine and Shamir's A, but, well, I never ended up using them, so I never got any of those. And, yeah, pretty sure, I don't think there are any supports that I'm really missing out on. I actually, like, for the first time, I'm not going to look at what the battle is on the calendar. Like, I honestly don't want to know. I actually want to keep in the dark about exactly what it entails. We also have 2 birthdays this month. Manuela and Leonie. Okay. Hey, Sothis, could you advise me on what I should... Oh, wait, you're inside my head right now and not talking. Okay, I guess, yeah, everyone's gonna have new dialogue this month, and everyone's probably gonna be commenting on what Byleth should do right now. Because, yeah, at this point, like, all of the major nations on the continent are, like, gone.
Let's see. After all that happened to Lady Rhea, all of the stuff with Solon and the others, and everything that's happened with you, Professor, there's still a lot I don't understand. Please teach me, Professor. Everything you know, everything you've learned. Thank you. Oh, thank you. If it's at all possible, I hope you'll speak about it not just to me, but to everyone else as well. I think everyone should know what happened here. If we're going to build a new, united Fodlan, that's absolutely crucial.
Yeah, I do feel like this route's probably the getting closure on Byleth route, in a way.
Professor! Everyone in the Knights of Seros is eagerly awaiting your ascension to the throne, Professor.
And that voice actress sounds so familiar to me, but I can't put my finger on who it is.
With the ability and virtue you've shown, you've demonstrated all the qualities the leader of a united Fodlan needs. If you're still wavering, we hope you will make your mind up soon.
Hey! Just when I thought bringing the Empire down would end the war, you had to fight where? Against whom?
That pose is kind of copied from Lauren's. Also, I've never seen that, like, that NPC portrait before.
The noble Knights of Seros won't tell us commoners any meaningful details, but at least that's the end of the fighting, right? Thanks for writing it out all this time.
Yeah, like, you are basically a model swap Lauren's, aren't you? That's really interesting. But yeah, if we did tell you what we did, you probably would faint, because, yeah,
Very much.
it's a bit crazy.
Well, it took a long while for us to get here, but we did it. The war is finally over.
And there's still one more chapter, so yeah.
We've been through a lot together, haven't we? Let me just say, it's truly been an honor. I'm flattered to hear you say so. For whatever it's worth, I think you'd make a great monarch. And I'd support you every step of the way.
You don't really get any dialogue like that with Ash on other routes. It is interesting, I almost feel like this is the route where it makes, well, I mean, it makes sense to recruit everyone on Golden Deer too, but like, it would make, this moment would be a lot more interesting if you had everyone here.
Those who slither in the dark will never harm anyone again. They're finally done for. Thank you, Professor. Finally, I feel some vindication for what I've gone through. Ah, Professor. Ever the modest one. I do like that aspect of you. As long as I'm of use here, I'm happy to stick around, Professor.
I'm still really surprised she didn't have special boss dialogue with Talez. Kind of wish she did.
Finally, an end to the fighting. Have you ever felt happier? I've worried that I might not live to see this day, but here we are. And everything is going to be okay, isn't it? My heart feels like it's ready to burst. I'm so full of happiness, yet I feel a sense of loss, too. Yes, we certainly did. But we managed to keep a great many things safe as well. Please do what you can to keep the peace, so we never have to face such awful times again.
Well, hopefully this ends up like Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn, where the peace lasts for over 1,000 years.
Lady Rhea was injured. How could such a thing happen? Wasn't she supposed to be resting? I can't believe she'd put herself in danger by going into battle in that state. Oh, goddess. Please save Lady Rhea.
Well, she's kind of part of Byleth right now, so, hopefully Sothis can still work miracles from where she is now. As part of Bylothus.
I don't think anybody would bat an eye if it was Sethith who ascended the throne.
You know, me neither.
Really? I think we can all agree that the role of tough but fair second-in-command suits him best.
Not really. I wish he was leading everything. Sethith has become one of my favorite characters in this game now.
Hey, Professor. I was just thinking I might go train. I know the war's over, but that doesn't mean I can stop working my muscles. I'm glad you see it my way. I always knew you were a smart one. There's no harm in keeping up on my training.
Teacher. Well done, Professor. We have brought the war to a magnificent conclusion. The Empire, Alliance, and Kingdom are no more, nor are there any factions that could blindside us and cause conflict. Now it falls to us to rule Fodlan and bring about an era of peace and prosperity. You would be a fine choice for the first ruler of this new era. I sincerely believe that. So your heart is already set on it. Excellent. In that case, congratulations are in order. I will follow you, Professor. I aim to be a great and respectable noble.
Well, at least he's not being like he was with Edelgard and kind of subtly trying to usurp her, but not exactly in a malicious way or anything. Yeah, Ferdinand's not bad. Oh, look, there's a gathering of people here.
This last series of battles was swift but vicious. Myrden, Gronder, Mercius. Many of our allies lost their lives in those battles, but now we finally avenged our fallen friends.
I've got to write a letter to my family. They're waiting in my old hometown. I've got to tell them I'll be coming home soon. I mean, what else could possibly happen?
Never say that. Also, I'm happy for you, Yukari. You go back to your family. Let's save talking to you for last. Someone in here.
Yeah. The most important thing we can do now is to pour all of our efforts into rebuilding the church and the monastery. We've relied on Lady Rhea and Sethith up till now, but after all this, we'll need to do our part too.
Okay, sorry, but that bishop with the cape who's walking there, did he just randomly appear out of nowhere? I feel like he just materialized and there he is walking off into the distance. I'm tempted to just keep waiting until he hits that. Oh no, he's moving. Oh, I thought he was gonna just hit that door and just get stuck.
May even need to go through some changes to catch up with the times.
Yeah. I miss the spinning priest.
Oh, right! We did it, Professor! We really gave it to him out there! With all the fighting and hardships, I don't know how we did it, but I'm glad we made it through together. Now all we gotta do is make you the new ruler. That's gonna be a fun coronation.
Yeah, so we'll celebrate with all of Byla's favorite activities, fishing and having tea. Thankfully, it's going to be way less weird than Corrin's coronation because one of Byla's things is not face-touching.
War has been ended. I will now be returning to Bridget. I hope in the new Fodlan, Bridget can be accepted with friendship. When my professor becomes the leader, I think that will have a possibility. Please, choose well. Yes. Now, I must be packing.
Right.
Oh wait, please. Oh, why is Bernadetta back in her room? She was outside of her room before.
Phew. It's all over, Professor. Though I am worried about Lady Rhea. But still, Fodlan is united, and those terrible people lurking in the dark have finally been destroyed. Looks like it's the dawn of a wonderful new era.
of blissful seclusion for Bernie. What? Why not? Hey, that better not be your first official decree. You're going to ask for my help again, aren't you? Oh, why?
Because you shouldn't be inside your room all the time? I'm just picturing, as my first official decree, I declare that persons named Bernadetta, it will be illegal for them to remain in their rooms. Nah, he wouldn't do that.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Say, how is the Archbishop faring? The soldiers and citizens are all concerned.
Nothing to report except for the fact the Archbishop is grievously wounded and is probably going to die. But other than that, nothing.
Just when we thought peace had finally arrived. What's to become of Fodlan?
Oh well, there's a lot of people on the second floor.
Professor, do you figure Lady Rhea will be okay? She will, won't she? I don't care one bit who'll succeed Lady Rhea, because nobody's gonna need to. She's gonna be happy and healthy again. You'll see.
I like the voice actor's tone of voice there. It's kind of implying that he's sort of having a hard time convincing himself that he doesn't really believe it. Yeah, I get the feeling things are not gonna exactly... yeah. We'll see.
I have faith in Lady Rhea's convalescence. But even so, what she needs now is rest. And while she is recovering, somebody must watch over Fodlan. There is no one more fit to wear such a mantle than you, Professor. That is what I believe. I do not doubt the others feel the same.
It's half affecting her to say for a second, and that person is me.
At last the day is upon us. The captain would be pleased. Don't you think, Leonie?
Definitely. And he'd be proud of the professor, too.
It seems like our efforts have been rewarded. It was certainly a long, difficult struggle to get here.
It was. Oh, Gerald. We worked so hard for this.
Ah!
How long have you been standing there?
Whether or not you choose to succeed Lady Rhea, we will forever be by your side.
Yeah, we'll be here no matter what you decide. But make sure you think it through. You don't want to have any regrets.
Well, we can still get faculty training from them.
Life can be tough, you know? But if you've got your friends to help you through, it can be a lot easier. Maybe you butt heads sometimes, but that's okay. That's how you build bonds, right? And I've got friends, Professor, plenty of those. It's true love that seems to have passed me by. But where is my true love to be found? Where is my ray of hope? At this point, you're the only man who pays attention to me. I guess I'll have to take what I can get.
I kind of wish I supported her with Hanneman on this route. Speaking of which...
Shambhala. An underground city with an entirely different lineage than the goddess? Strange phenomena, driven by a source totally alien to the crest that we understand. Most unsettling. Could it be magic? Some manner of technology? I would like to know the truth of it all. Very much so. I want to know their history, their knowledge. Why do you suppose they chose this place to occupy? No, I suppose you wouldn't. It seems we will have to excavate Shambhala to know more. Although I heard you will be the ruler here. Should I ask your permission to proceed with the dig?
Yeah, well, you already have permission. We wouldn't need to dig if Mr. Villain Guy hadn't decided to go all if I go down and taking you with me and explode the whole place, though.
Lady Rhea stopped the forces that threatened to destroy Fodlan. She's trying to realize her dream of peace. Isn't that enough? Can't you let her rest? If you're the only person who's fit to replace her, you should just do it. I'm sure Lady Rhea wishes for that too, right? I can't think of anyone who's more well-suited to the job.
Well, that's kind of what she said before the time skip. She basically said if anything should happen to me, which is something that you should never say in a work of fiction, but anyway, that I trust you with everything.
Hey! All the lords of the Old Kingdom seem to be pouring their efforts into rebuilding their own domains. But without a royal family in place, they can't seem to reach any sort of agreement. And so the work can't progress.
I mean, there's always the possibility that Dimitri's alive and that he could just suddenly show up and go, hey everyone, I'm back.
A lot of territory in the Old Empire doesn't even have any lords right now. So there are concerns about peace and prosperity breaking down in large areas. It is the duty of the victor to restore order. We must rebuild and reunite as soon as we can.
Yeah, everything is kind of badly broken right now.
Congratulations on a job well done, Professor. I do hope Lady Rhea is well.
And that's not because I totally want to study her major crest of Seros.
Is it true what I heard? You'll be taking over her post? Would that make you Archbishop? Or higher still? Am I in the company of the future ruler of Fodlan?
I don't know which to say here.
I agree. Imagine all that responsibility. Until now, you've always fought with all of us by your side. Being ruler would be a much lonelier job, though I am certain you would excel. Me? I have no interest in a leadership role. I'm happy to spend the rest of my days studying and napping.
The day is ours, Professor. And this victory will ensure our names are immortalized in history. Or perhaps this is but the opening chapter in the tale they will write of our glory. After all, if you are to rule this reunited land, surely there is bound to be a place for me at your side.
And that means Ignuts too, and by extension quite a few.
I read your mind, didn't I? Fear not. I will not fail to rise to the occasion, regardless. Your decision will have an impact on my future, so be sure to make it a good one.
And then Byleth immediately decrees that there will be no more nobility and that all roses will be banned. No, not really.
The war is finally over. I have to admit, even I got a little emotional. Ray's condition doesn't look good. There's nothing to do now but wait. More importantly, are you serious about becoming Fodlan's new ruler? It's pretty sudden. Either way, do what you think is best.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot more context for this choice on this route than there is with Blue Lions, where it's like, oh, by the way, Byleth became the new Archbishop. The end.
Well, is your mind made up?
Ah, yeah, I had a feeling. At least they give you clear warning.
Understand. Just know that we are applying all our power right now toward healing Rhea.
I'm just picturing like an entire army of bishops just going like, physic, 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 physic.
You should take this opportunity to speak with everyone. I'm certain it will do you good.
Well, funny you should say that, because I think you were the last person. Yep, you were the... No, actually, there's a few people in the cathedral I haven't spoken to. And by a few people, I mean Marianne.
Right, right.
Yes, right.
I've heard that you'll take over as the ruler of this new land. Is that true? And here I thought you'd take over for Lady Rhea as Archbishop.
Well, he might do both.
You'll be lonely here in the monastery if you leave. Oh, hey! Why don't we make Garrick Mach the new capital?
Huh, that's interesting. That's a possibility. One note. Caspar. Well, would you like that? Hey! At least I got that right. Which will... I don't know if it'll be the last one. Like, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to end up doing here.
Professor, and with that, we can finally enjoy a time of peace. I'm honored to have fought by your side. Even if you haven't made plans yet, I know you'll do your best, whatever your future may hold. If true, that's all thanks to you and our allies. Please let me know if there's anything more I can do.
A moment, please. Once Lady Rhea is fully recovered, she will resume her role as the Archbishop of the Church. In which case, I do believe you would be the obvious choice for the ruler of the new royal bloodline.
Okay, and that should be, yeah, everyone. I mean, no reason not to use up all of our remaining food in the dining hall. Or maybe check on the, check on here. So, like, looking at the calendar... Obviously, I want to at least show these two birthdays. And there are a few auxiliary battles, but I don't really feel like I particularly need them. Like, I kind of just want to see what happens next in the story. So I might end up just sort of skipping over most of this. You might actually get to see Rest for once in this playthrough, which does have its own tutorial, by the way. I've viewed that off screen. was about to say, oh look, professor level that I don't need, but it was actually leaves. Again, any supports that I really want to do that I'm missing right now? Like, it's really just Flame and Ignatz. Is there anything for Sedith that I could go for? Bernadetta, but I'm actually getting her ending with, Ferdinand. Okay, can't actually make anything more. I could do Quiet just for a last-ditch attempt to get a little bit of support points.
Right.
Yes, right. And I did not get Ignatz and Flame yet, okay. Who got that?
I'm really getting the
hang
of it. This experience is critical.
Oh, you both did, okay. Please... Yes, I did get it, okay. But I will want to save before doing that, just in case I mess up the ending that I want. Oh, you're already maxed for Ferdinand, okay. I guess there's Raphael and a few people. I mean, I've heard Raphael and Ignatz is really good, but I'm kind of liking Ignatz and Marianne right now. And I suppose I can faculty train with both of you just for... I don't know, just because it seems fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, some training in punching. And yeah, let's just go ahead and move on.
Tell me something.
With these two people standing behind me, ready to beat you up if you get this answer wrong. I'm tempted to say this.
Yeah, great answer.
I had a feeling he'd actually like that. And Catherine's face palming in the background, that's great. And this was Manuela, okay. Oh, okay, we're not even, like, higher support rank, so I guess, yeah.
Thank you for your invitation. To what do I owe this surprise?
The fact you were born.
Thank you.
That shouldn't be a surprise. Yeah, wow, it must be only, like, C if the, like, amount of biscuits there is like that.
Huh?
No, I feel like you would not like that. Working hours for guards, so you know when you can ask them out. Now I'm actually tempted to choose that.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's probably more likely.
Huh?
Yeah, I thought so. Given that she's going on about...
Who are you, really? Such a mystery. I don't really understand you. Tell me everything.
Problem with that is that Byleth doesn't even know, and I'm pretty sure we're not going to find out until, like, the last plot event of this month. Disagree. No, I will not tell you everything. I don't know, I'm tempted to say this. Okay. Great, tea time!
Thanks for the treat. Come by the infirm.
Okay, now there's just one more birthday left. Is she gonna come forward for a support, like, during the week just because of that? No. Okay.
You know what?
Yeah, I put these two on stable duty because they're not quite at A+ writing yet, so if they get that, they can get movement +1.
I'll try to put this to use.
Oh, 4 on that's actually really good. You could really use that in the last
I'll
map.
expand the scope of my research.
I don't know why you're still on archery, but oh well. I'm not using you in this playthrough, so that doesn't really matter. Okay, so... like, is there anything I need to do with the marketplace? I don't think there's many weapons that I need to fix. Don't even have any arcane crystals. I still don't have enough black sand steel for, like, anything. I think I'm probably fine on most things. Not enough to make me furious. That's kind of a shame. Used in the War of the Eagle and Lion. That's a lie. It was used in the War of Shadows and the War of Heroes.
Flame! Excuse me, quick question. Can I paint you?
Oh, hello, Ignatz. What an unexpected surprise.
I'd like to paint your portrait, Flame.
Oh, right. When I first saw that, I envisioned it. I know this is not literally what he meant, but I envisioned it as him actually painting, like, on her.
For some reason, whenever I try to visualize Saint Sethlene, I think of you.
Gee, I wonder why that is.
No wonder I've repeatedly felt someone's eyes boring holes into the back of my head lately.
You're quite lucky my brother hasn't noticed. It would be wise to back away from me before he does. Although, I shall agree to your request, on the understanding that you paint me to be more illustrious than Saint Sethlene.
More illustrious than the statue? Surely you mean as illustrious.
Am I not the more illustrious? The more breathtaking?
Well, true, you are a sight to behold. Though I'm not sure about the competitive tenor of that question.
There's no competition at all because they're the same person.
I'd expect you, as an admirer of Saint Sethlene, to speak more... admiringly?
An admirer, You say such funny things. Now then, would you like me to pose? Oh, I have many ideas up my sleeve.
A pose? No need. You can just sit down.
Are you certain about that? It sounds rather... dull. How long will it take you?
A few days, I imagine. But that's okay. You can just come by whenever you have time.
I thought for a second he actually expected her to sit down for a few days.
Oh, and if you don't mind, could you tell me some more stories about her? The stories you tell about Saint Sethlene are so much more vivid than the other legends I've heard.
Gee, I wonder why they are.
She seems so impressive, so fierce. I can't help but admire her too.
Actually, I have changed my mind. No longer do you need to paint me as illustrious. Instead, paint me as fierce.
Sure, I guess. I think cute might suit you a little better, though.
Did you not just say that Saint Sethlene had an impressive and fierce way about her? Well, if that is the case, then I too would like to look fierce. You're welcome to paint me repeatedly until you get the expressiveness just right.
You're just completely oblivious to the fact that someone just called you cute.
Rather, you must paint me repeatedly until I am satisfied with the outcome.
I'm not sure I can ever produce a painting that completely satisfies you, but I'll try. I said I would, and I will not go back on my word, even if this painting takes me months. That wouldn't be a problem, would it?
Not at all. We're friends, aren't we?
That won't be a problem. I live for thousands of years.
I am happy to help with a friend's request, even if it takes centuries to complete.
Thank you for that. Though I hope it doesn't take quite that long.
And so, Ignatz painted for the rest of his entire life and finished the painting when he was a very, very old man, because Flane artificially extended his life until he could finish. He finished when he was 3,000 years old. The end. So, yeah, that one's interesting. That one's actually less romantic than I expected it to be, which is kind of interesting, but also kind of a pleasant surprise at the same time. Marianne is still higher. Though I'm hoping that Flane doesn't just, like, out-priority him or something. I know there's, like, a priority list, like someone's told me with the paired endings, and it goes Black Eagles, Blue Lions, Golden Deer, and then, like, non-houses. So even if they were tied, Marianne would still beat Flane in priority. Despite that, though, I still kinda wanna reload just in case. Huh. Well, we have a little bit of an indicator of... Are we gonna end up fighting inside Garrick Mock or something? Huh. Ah, interesting. This bit about her being the goddess's child is actually literal, not metaphorical. At the end of a long journey, the goddess glimpsed the land and there alighted. Yeah, this does lend a little bit of credence to that fan theory. I don't think it's explicitly canon, just a fan theory that's semi-likely that Sothis is actually an alien from the Blue Sea Star. Okay, so this part's actually not true at all. In that the heroes actually were the evil force. Yeah, heroes' relics are definitely not... Like, I don't know, like, it's weird, like, I still don't get how this happened, because... if the heroes' relics were created via the massacre of Seros's people, of the dragons, wouldn't she want to vilify the people who use them? Not claim them to be heroes? Okay, I don't think you ever actually go here. Yes, this thing, the vile nemesis who proclaimed himself the king of liberation, delighted in war and bloodshed? Nope, not vilification, that's all actually true, and in fact, he was even worse than the legends say, which is kind of interesting. Because normally in Fire Emblem, like, the events of a huge, like, the events of history were often distorted and written by the winners, and in this case, while history was distorted, it's kind of interesting that Nemesis really was just as evil as the legends say, and then some. Oh, okay, here we go. Saint Seros was in Enbar. Yeah, mediated between the two. Yeah, another thing that that annoys me about Edelgard is that she blames the church for the existence of the Kingdom of Fargus and the Leicester Alliance, but they sought independence completely independent of the church's influence. They just wanted independence from the Empire. That's what happened.
This experience is critical.
Okay, what's Mystic Blow? Magic attack. With plus 10 might. Not really sure I'll need Grounder. And one final birthday tea party.
It's nice to be invited over. Thanks.
And no favorite tea.
This is great.
She still brought her arrows in here.
Yeah.
I wasn't really sure about any of those.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, since she has rivalries with others. Of course, I'm not going to get perfect tea time anyway.
Wow.
Oh, just nice.
Thanks for the tea. Invite me by again sometime.
So, no face-looking action today. We at least got a charm boost, which we didn't get from Manuela, interestingly enough, despite that tea time going better.
We did...
Okay, Leonie is actually getting a little bit close to A+.
Can't let this power go on.
Let's see it in action.
Okay, so looks like I actually did get some of the supports that I wanted, but first, this is it, our final time teaching for this playthrough, and quite possibly The final time teaching in this game for the foreseeable future. Now, there's one person I definitely want to focus on, though. Let's see if we can get you up to A+ writing for Movement +1 before the game ends. Oh, you might be just barely off. We'll see. Now, let's see if we can get your reason up a little higher. I don't know if she'll learn any new spells, though. Well, I can get you to a B in authority. That increases the number of battalions you have access to. And may as well get you to an A in Lancers.
I must...
Might end up with an A in writing on him too if I do this right. Oh no, that'll just take you a C+. That won't give you any new battalions. I don't know if you get anything for an A+ in flying, but I can try.
You.
Oh, and again, screw over by plus ranking. I was like, oh, I can raise that to A, but no, B+, which doesn't actually affect much. Didn't even get that either. See, B+ in this at least gives you a new prowess. I can at least see what spell she learns for an E+, potentially. No, but it's just Reason 1. I just realized that a little too late. I was like, oh wait, it's just a Reason prowess. Oh, I could have got you a B in Magic too. But you might get that on your own. No one coming for questions, huh? Yeah, this means we're almost done.
We did well.
Yeah, she's definitely getting A+ writing out of this. Oh, Ferdinand barely didn't get a new spell, I think.
It's within my grasp.
Time a quick study. This'll be useful.
Yeah, it will. Movement +1. Let me quickly check to see if Ferdinand would have got anything new out of getting a B in Reason. He would have got Bolganone. It's not exactly the end of the world. He actually learned a decent assortment of spells, which is... I suppose that kind of makes sense. But okay, we do have a couple of supports that I want to do. Honestly, there's no harm in getting Leonie and Raphael's A, because I'm either going to S-support her with Byleth, yes, I know, even though her C and B were terrible, but her A was pretty nice. Or then she won't end up with anyone, and she may as well have Raphael's paid ending, which I'm pretty sure is platonic, but I guess we'll see.
Hey, writing to your sister again?
You bet! Gotta reply to these things as soon as they come in.
You had one last week, too. It's great to see you're both so good about staying in touch. It's especially important when there's a war going on.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. My sister wrote to say how much she loved the painting supplies you sent.
Good. I'm glad gathering those pigments paid off.
You even made her a brush. I really appreciate you doing all that for her.
I was fascinated with painting at that age. I was a pretty artistic kid, if you can believe it. Not a lot of time for it when you're hungry, though.
I wonder if that's brought up in her later supports with Ignatz, like her A or something.
Sounds like you had a pretty tough time growing up, too. Huh?
I guess so. We never thought of it that way. But it's true the children in my village don't usually get to choose their futures. Any one of us could have had the talent for artistic genius and never even noticed. I was one of the lucky ones. I only got to follow my passion thanks to my father and all the other folks. That's why, once I come into my own, the first thing I'll do is head back there and help the other kids.
Oh, wow. It's like all the kids in your village are counting on you.
No need to exaggerate it. Besides, it's not like I'm unique. You're working hard for your sister's future, aren't you?
Yeah. It's like me and you are both carrying big weights.
Except I carry big weights, literally.
We should try sharing the weight with each other. You know, lighten both of our loads.
Huh?
If we share our problems, then we only gotta carry half the weight, right? It works out for everybody.
It's probably a good thing you didn't try to take on your family's business. If you take half of my burden and I take half of yours, the total's still the same.
Nah, that doesn't sound right. Everything's lighter when you don't gotta carry it alone.
second thought, you might be right. With the right attitude and the right partner to share the burden, maybe it is only half the weight.
Now you're getting it! It's a waste of energy to struggle alone when there's someone who can help you.
That's true. And I do hate waste, as you well know. So when it comes to working toward the future you're after, you know I won't fall short.
Great! And you should never fall short on sharing a big meal with me, too!
Deal.
Okay, yeah, that one's pretty nice. And now for one that I might actually want to save beforehand. Because I'm pretty sure this one actually is a romantic ending.
Ah, Bernadetta, have you finished your illustrations?
Yes, I have. Finally. This is the first time I've ever made anything for a real-life book. I was up all night finishing these. Bernie's all burned out now. I guess if they're no good, we'll just have to burn them all, huh?
I'm dead from puns. Rip me, cause of death puns.
Let's leave the topic of burning aside for now, shall we? Show me what you've done.
So, what do you think?
This is excellent work. The color, especially. It truly brings your art to life.
Yeah, take that, Linhart, for nitpicking your colors.
I will see that the new edition of our book is added to the Garrigmach collection.
Really? Oh, that's such a relief. It was a tough job, but yeah, there's nothing Bernie can't handle.
You certainly do have some impressive mood swings. Actually, there is one thing I'd like to discuss.
Oh no, what did I get wrong?
Relax. I simply wanted to ask you about this last image. This is you here, is it not?
Yes. Is that wrong? What's wrong with it?
Nothing at all. I'm only curious. Does that make me the person standing beside you?
Oh, no, that's St. Keyhole.
Is that so? Then I must ask, what relationship are you suggesting you have with him?
Well, this is awkward. Because if she is writing self-insert fanfiction shipping herself and St. Keyhole, then, yeah.
Well, I got the impression that the story of St. Indek was told from St. Keyhole's point of view. So I just imagined that I asked St. Keyhole about it. And, that's where the picture came from. I guess I overdid it, huh? That's weird, isn't it? It's really weird. We can scrap it. Let's just get rid of it.
Ah, so that's why. That's amusing.
It is?
Very much. And I think this is a very fitting end to the book, actually. St. Keyhole and Bernadetta. They would have made quite an interesting pair, I think. In fact, if the two of you had lived in the same time, I am certain you would share a deep bond.
Can't you just tell her? Actually, no, she'd probably faint if she knew.
What? St. Keyhole and me? No way. I've already got my hands full just trying to be friends with you. But I've managed that at least, right? Haven't I?
Absolutely.
It's like, he's like, ha! He's like laughing and he's like, you poor deluded fool, you have no idea, do you? Oh no, that was actually a pretty nice support, but let me just quickly check the closest allies. So I actually wouldn't mind that being a paired ending. Okay, Bernadetta's at the top of yours. But is Ferdinand still... Yep, Ferdinand is still at the top of Bernadetta's, okay. So you're probably going to get it with Ferdinand, but to be honest, I'm actually okay leaving that one up to the gods of fate and seeing which ending I end up getting. I know it's probably going to be Ferdinand, but I don't actually mind the idea of her and Sedith, so... Huh. And I think that's pretty much everything, so... Yeah, I know, logically speaking, there's quite a lot of things that I could potentially do to get faculty training up and things like that, but I think I'm gonna actually go ahead and end the month right here.
Well, is your mind made up?
So, next time you'll see the consequences of Byleth's decision and the end of the Silver Snow route.